What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to GTM Gaming and Delectables. I am your host, Gathering the Magic, and it's Sunday. So you know what time that is. It's time for a market watch. Today is March 16th, 2025. We're going to be doing the card market watch today. So we're going to look at all the different token prices, pack prices, card prices, see how things have changed with survival mode, finishing its first season, what cards are disappearing from the marketplace, and what cards are moving up in price. So let's get started as we always do with the tokens. So starting with SPS, as you can see, we're down again. We're under 0.6 of a penny at 0.0059. Vouchers have doubled since 2 weeks ago, from about a penny to now we're at 2 cents. The new voucher card is coming out in a couple of days, so people are preparing for that, and voucher prices are moving up. DEC, as you can see, we've been pretty consistent over the last month, about 76 cents per 1,000 DEC. Vouchers, one thing I noticed with vouchers today, from 2 weeks ago, we're up 743,000, which means we're adding 53,000 a day. And I don't understand that, since we are only printing 40,000. So not sure why there are more vouchers than what has been printed, but we're currently just under 16 million vouchers in circulation. Of course, I expect this to drop a lot with the new card coming up just in a couple of days. So in another couple weeks, when we do the card market watch again, I expect this number to be a lot lower. SPS burning, you can see over the last couple weeks we've burned just over 250,000 SPS, so we're burning about 18,000 SPS per day. Pack prices, so alpha packs, really no change over the last couple weeks, still sitting there at $54.80. Beta packs up slightly to $10.50. 18 packs disappeared off the market. Untamed, we're sitting at $7.59. 14 packs were opened. Dice still at $8.20. Just over 5,000 dice packs left. Orb, we're sitting at $7.92. This as well, number jumped up to 68.31, so we added 111 packs from 2 weeks ago. Okay, Chaos Legion. So this is the big news for me. If you guys know, my alt accounts, I usually buy Chaos Legion packs off Hive, flip them in game, just make usually like a penny or two per pack. Or about Monday or Tuesday this week, Chaos Legion packs were still selling for around 32, 33 cents. You could purchase them for about 27 cents off a Hive. Then just in the last couple of days, the bots have sold out of their stock, and now Chaos Legion packs are back up to about 50 cents. And they're selling for, I believe, about 42 or 43 cents over on Hive. So big spike in Chaos Legion packs over the last few days. And if you look at the number of packs, you may say, oh, we're still at 1.8 million. It's not a whole lot. But we've gone through almost 39,000 Chaos Legion packs just in the last 2 weeks, which is the most that I've seen. So we are opening a ton of Chaos Legion. I'm sure most of it is for survival mode. You know, people need some cards to play. They need some summoners, and Chaos Legion is the best way to get those cards. Recently, Tails just did a 4,000 pack opening, so a lot of people are opening Chaos Legion packs. So let's see if that trend continues, because it seems like survival mode is a big success, at least so far right out of the gate. Riftwatcher packs still sitting at right around $1.75, $1.80, right in that range. So currently we're at $1.77. 116,000 packs left there. And Rebellion continues to move up in price. Cards are selling very well, as we'll see in part 2. And Rebellion packs are going currently in game for $4.15. The amount circulating, now the way that I calculate this is I will go over to Splinter Cards, or actually I will go on Peak Monsters, and I will go under the rich list, and what I will do is I'll look at the balance, and I will subtract how many cards have been burned and how many cards are in the Dow. And going by that, it shows we only have about 46,000 packs left in circulation. So previously it was 69,000. And going over to Splinter cards, it shows, I think it's somewhere around 67,000 packs available. So at least the way that I'm calculating it, we're down to 46,000. Either way, we're 67,000 or less unopened packs available. If this amount is correct, in the amount that we have changed in the last couple of weeks, we've only got 28 days left, but I'm sure that this is incorrect for some reason. But like I said, I've been calculating it the same way every time I do the market watch, so I'm not sure why there's that big discrepancy this week. Okay, moving on to sets and alpha cards. So what has alpha cards been up to over the last couple of weeks? Common cards, regular foil, you can see are in the 34 cents to $10 range. So the floor price for alpha cards has come down. As you can see, back in January, we were at about 78 cents was the cheapest common, down to 51, 50, 46. So the low end alpha common cards have been trending down. Rare cards, 85 cents to $43. Epics 350 to 1443, and then legendaries about the same range, 20 bucks to $125. Your gold foil alpha cards, commons anywhere from $13 to $1,725 for the commons. Rares, you're looking at $49 to $22,000, and that is a card that is only a single copy. Gold foil epics, $375 to $1,500, and then gold foil legendaries. There's two on the marketplace, one at $8,000 and then the other at $125,000. For your promo cards, the only promo cards on the market for alphas, the common is still sitting there at $6.40. The rare come down a little bit to $11.88. And then for the gold foils, the only copy on the marketplace is a rare for $98.01. Okay, moving on to beta. So your beta cards, your low end, your commons are 6 cents up to 70 cents. Your rares, 23 cents to 537. And we will go into this card when we do the deep dive in part 2. So there's certain cards, even in beta, that are really moving up because of survival mode. Epic cards, you're looking at 79 cents to just over $20. Legendaries, $3.90 to $100. And this is actually a different card. This is not Valnamore. Once again, we'll get into that in part 2. Gold foil commons, low end $1.85 up to $145. Your gold foil rares, $7.73 up to just under $400. Your gold foil epics, $33 to $250. And then your gold foil legendaries for beta, $485 to $1,498. The promo cards, the common card, which is the Dragon Summoner, he moved up this week to 82 cents per BCX. The rare is still sitting at 43. The Epic promo is at $2.90. And then for your legendary cards, Red Dragon is still at $8. But look at the high-end rare ones. Prince Julian went from just under $1,000 to just under $1,500, and then Archmage Arius went from $600 to $1,500. So those cards were cheap for the last couple of months, and by cheap I mean under $1,000, and now they've really trended back up in price. For gold foil promos, the only ones on the marketplace are the common, the Dragon Summoner, still sitting there at $9.89. You can see it's been there for a couple months. And then for the gold foil rare is sitting at $25. Okay, moving on to Untamed. This is the set where I'm starting to see some movement in some key cards. Your commons are 2 cents to 42 cents. Your rares, 6 cents to 225. Your epics, 21 cents to $1.50. And then your legendaries, $1.83 to $99. So you can see the ranges are pretty much consistent except for the high end. The gold foil commons still sitting 56 cents to $7.50. Your rares, $2.45 to $150. Gold foil epics, $10.50 to $175. And then your gold foil untamed legendary cards, $60 up to $17.50. Okay, so let's look at some key cards that have really moved up this week. So the 4 cards that I usually always track are Kitty. You can see a single BCX of Kitty went from $38.50 to $99. Llama went from $22 to $44.95. Jotun went from $37.52 up to $69.95. And look at Kron, for ages, Cron was under $7-8. Cron is now $37 per BCX on the market. So these key cards from Untamed have really moved up in price. The gold foil, actually Kitty came down $300 from $17.50 to $14.50. Gold foil llama is sitting there at $500. Gold foil Jotun at $1,037, and then gold foil Kron, there hasn't been one for quite a while on the marketplace. And the promo cards, even the promo cards have moved up. Halfling Alchemist went from $1.46 up to $2.21. Chain Golem doubled from $5 to $10. And Mighty Dricken, there's one listed for $1,230. For the gold foil versions, the Alchemist is sitting at $178, and the Chain Golem at $195. Okay, moving on to dice. So your common cards are 2 cents to 20 cents. Your rare cards, which are your summoners, 47 cents to 2.15. There's been a lot of movement in the summoners, so we'll do a deep dive on part 2 and go through those. And just kind of a heads up spoiler, the $2.15 is not my lore. So just be prepared for that in part 2. A lot of movement there. As you can see, even the low end is 47, and look at how the low end's been over the last couple months. You know, Vera's been, like, you know, usually the low one, 20 cents, 21, 16, 18. Now your low end card is 47 cents. So Summoner's definitely moving up because of survival mode. Your epics, 40 cents to 60 cents, and then your legendaries, $2.57 to 25. Your gold foil versions, commons, 95 cents to $6. Gold foil rares, 460 to 20. Gold foil epics from 1150 to 29. And your gold legendaries right around $90 to 300. Okay, Orb, another small set. So for Orb, your common cards, you can see here the low end has really gone up from 6-7 cents being the low to 13. So now 13 cents to 57 for your commons, 24 cents to 47 for your rares. The two epics, one is $1.04, the other is $1.30. And your legendaries, $7.95 to $14.40. So you can see there's been a nice uptick in prices for the legendary cards compared to the last couple months. Your gold foil versions, $2.44 to $4.84 for the commons. The rares are $8 to $13.58. The only gold foil epic is the wizard for $69. And then for your gold legendaries, the warlord is sitting at 700. No Lord of Fire, and then the Corrupted Pegasus is sitting at 1400. Okay, Chaos Legion. So what movement has there been in there for Chaos Legion? For your commons, as you can see, the high-end card for the common, which had been 4 or 5 cents forever, is now up to 13 cents. So when you're dealing with a card cards that are so massively overproduced as Chaos Legion, it's kind of surprising to see that card basically triple in price from 2 weeks ago. Your rares, 2 cents up to 43. So there's been a lot of movement in the rare summoners for Chaos Legion. We'll get into that in part 2. Your epics, 9 cents to 28. And then look at this. Your legendary cards finally hit that 50 cent for the floor price, up to $5 for a Chaos Legion legendary card. So good movement, a lot of movement, as we'll see when we get into the amount in circulation in part 2. Gold foil commons, 15 cents to 74. Your rares, 79 cents to $3.54. Your gold foil epics are sitting from $3.50 to just under $7.50 a piece. And then your gold foil legendaries, $18 to, look at this, $290 for the most expensive Chaos Legion gold foil legendary. The soulbound cards, you can see there's some movement there as well. The commons, 5 cents up to 32. Your rares, 28 cents to 93 cents. Your epics, $1.19 to $2.94. And your legendaries, $5.99 to 22. So you can see the trend has been going up for the soulbound cards. Gold foil versions, no movement in the commons. You can see they're still $1.17 to $2.95. The rares, $6.95 to 12. Your gold foil epics, $27.49 to $69.42. And then for your soulbound legendary cards, gold foil, $119 to $290. And then promo cards. So what have they done over the last 2 weeks? So the bear thought this would hold its price when it was up around 10, 15 cents, but now it's back down to 7. Brews is sitting at 10 cents. Osure at 7.48. Dr. Blight's back up just under 10 bucks at 9.49. Zerial continues to kind of drift lower down to 13.01. Waka, look at this, cheapest Waka in quite a while, $139. Just the opposite for Lux Vega. Lux Vega, which had been in the low 200s over the last month, the cheapest now is 360. Looking at the gold foil versions, your gold foil bear is sitting at $1.95. Vruz has come back down from its high 2 weeks ago at 425 down to 217. Gold foil Assure is sitting at 52.50. Gold foil Dr. Blight at $70. Gold foil Zerial at $119. Gold foil Waka at $5,000, and gold foil Lux sitting at just under $2,000. Rift Watchers. So for Rift Watchers, not a whole lot of movement until we get to the epics and legendaries. The commons are still sitting at 2 cents to 20, rares 7 cents to 38, epics, which are your summoners, 38 cents up to 272, and then your legendary cards, which the floor is usually just right around $1, so it's $1.19, up to 25.65 for inevitable. The gold foil versions, commons 17 cents to $2. Your rares, $1 to $2.80. Your epics, which are the summoners, $6.40 up to $44.45, and this is for a single BCX. So this is not for a combined BCX card. So this one has really moved up in price, kind of surprising. And gold foil legendaries, $24.90 up to $195. Okay, Rebellion. What has Rebellion done? Well, there's been a lot of movement in Rebellion prices. Common cards, 7 cents to 70. Now, usually the high-end common cards are, of course, the summoners, and they've been anywhere from the high 20s to maybe the low to mid 40s per BCX. Now there is a different card that is the most expensive card, and it's sitting there at 70 cents for a common. Very impressive for a common card in a new set to be 70 cents. Your rares, you're looking at 12 cents to $1.80. Epics, you're sitting at 64 cents to $2.82. And then your legendary cards, low end is $3.45 up to $62.49. And you know which card that is. Gold foil commons, you're looking at 83 cents to $4.50. The rares, $1.76 to $18. Your gold foil epics, $9.85 to $35. And your gold foil legendaries, $37 to $599, and this is for a single BCX. So what are some of the cards that have moved up? We'll get to that after we get through the soulbounds. So your soulbound cards, 8 to 9 cents for the commons, 31 to 38 cents for the rares, epics, $1.90 to $2.69, legendaries, $9.69 to $10.70. So very normal ranges for the soulbound cards. And then for the gold foils, 217 to 279. So the low end of the commons has come up a little bit. Your gold foil rares, 940 to 1499. Your gold foil epics, 48.99 to 53.49. And then there's a single gold foil legendary for sale for $198. Okay, so now we'll look at some of the key Rebellion cards and look at these prices, how they've moved in just the last 14 days. So Kai's only moved up 15 cents from $4.85 to $5. Kane came down a few cents from $17.99 to $17.80. But look at Rage. Rage went from $16.50, just about doubled, to $30. Darg, and this is for single BCX, went from $17 up to $52. Venka went from $37 up to $50. Lorcas went up just about a buck from $29 to $29.99. Cryptic went up $2 from $19.99 to $21.99. Tofu pushed back up above 60, went from $50 up to that $62.49. EMP had a very strong week, going up from $19.16 to $26.99. Nidhogger, look at this. The much maligned Nidhogger went from $14.50 up to $25. And Risk-Eldrath, one of the few cards that went a little bit lower, but not much, from 17 to 1640. So very strong movement in some key Legendary Rebellion cards. And then as far as the gold foils went, let's see how much they have moved. So Kai went down from 99 to 90. A Kane went from 72 up to $129. Rage, which had that big move in the regular foil. The gold foil went from $128 to $275. Gold foil Darg. Now this $5.99 from 2 weeks ago, I think this was a max copy. Now it's $5.80 just for a single copy. Venka went from 130 to 499. I believe that is also a single BCX. Lorcas stayed the same at 193. Cryptic came down 20 bucks from 200 to 180. Gold foil tofu, look at this. Over the last couple months, 400, 382, 325, 285, drifting lower, 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 and then bam, 599. EMP, there was none 2 weeks ago. Before that, we were in the low 100s, now $300. Nidhogger went from 120 to 175, and Risk-Eldrath 154 down to 150. So once again, with the very rare gold foil legendary cards, you can see there's been a lot of movement in those over the last 14 days. So how the promo cards done? Couple of promo cards are moving up as well. Now Grimbard & Smith, not a lot of movement, came down a little bit from 499 to 446, but look at the gold foil. The gold foil went from 1830 to 40 bucks. So more than doubled there. Mantaroth, which had been drifting lower, for months this card was consistently in the $30 range. Then it kind of hit, the high 20s. After 2 weeks ago when it drifted down to the mid 20s, I'm like, okay, is this going to keep dropping? And then boom, $69 per BCX for Mantaroth, $200 for a gold foil. The Enforcer holding pretty steady up in the upper 80s at 87 cents, $5.74 for the gold foil. Baron Fiat came down a little bit after that doubling in price, from 2 weeks ago, from $8 down to $6.24. The gold foil is sitting at $63.36. Mana Warden sitting at 15 cents. The gold foil came down to $1.85. Sanctus, $2.50, and gold foil at $29.99. Eleanor has been continuing to just kind of drift a little bit higher every couple weeks. Went from 60 bucks 2 weeks ago up to 65.33. No gold foil on the marketplace currently. Night Stalker went from 215 to 280. Gold foil came down a little bit to $20.99. Delia came from $59.99 down to $56. Gold foil down to $399. Rune Anarchist, not very many on the market, up to $560. This is for a rare card per BCX, and the gold foil sitting at $65. Rick Loneman, same as 2 weeks ago, $80.08 with no gold foils on the market. Moss Mender sitting at $2.23, regular foil, and $16.99 for the gold. Nefket went from 41 down to $39.90, gold foil sitting at $4.15. Ulfka. Now the reason Ulfka has probably doubled in price is because the voucher price has doubled. So only a day or two left of Ulfka, and then that one's going to be off the market. So that one went from $16.63 up to $29.70. Gold foil at $167.99. Warborn Shaman sitting at $240 with the gold foil just under 20 bucks at $19.94. Fizbo sitting at $40 and the gold foil at $3.96. And there was a Heloise on the market, so we're going to track that, see if those get posted from time to time. There was a regular foil Heloise up for sale for $2,000. So lots of movement. Like I said, in part 2, we're going to get through some more specific cards that moved up in price. We'll see how the liquidity did for a lot of the sets, which cards are kind of disappearing off the market. And stay tuned for that in part 2, which I will upload shortly. So hope you guys enjoyed, and get ready for part 2, which I will post in just a little bit. So until then, stay the course, keep on forging, have fun, and keep opening those chaos packs. Take care.